Hi everyone, and welcome back to another plan with me. In this video, I'll be planning for the week of February the 13th and then recapping the week of the 6th. So let's get to it. Here's my task card where I have the order that I do my planning. I made these a long time ago. For those of you who are new, I get asked about these a lot. And it's just through trial and error, figuring out what method works for me to make sure that I don't miss anything and I go into my next week being as prepared as possible. So this took a little bit of time to perfect, and then I made them into task cards so that in case I need to reference them, which I do every week, I do reference them just to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Okay, so here is my week. Let's get to it. So like I got a lot of tasks done and then I didn't get a lot of tasks done, if that makes sense. Let's see here. Handwritten notes, I did not get to that. Call scripts, I did not get to that. I started planning my January recap video and then the week just got away from me. I did look into that. Still need to do that. So a lot of things are going to be migrated to next week. I might be able to get that done today. We'll see. All right. So yeah, so first up is week recap. So this is me kind of recapping my week. So I love having my dashboard. I have my weekly tasks here and then other things here that I like to track. So reading, I did read yesterday. Meditation. Let's see here. I did do that a few times actually. And then there were a couple days where I didn't even look at my wellness journal because just going from one thing to the next. So Saturday, and then Tuesday actually. I can't believe I didn't check those off. Saturday I was looking at the wrong week. That was not this was not yesterday, it was last Saturday. So 3 times, that's a huge improvement for me. I did read 3 times as well. Review my routines. I did not pull this card out once. My follow-up, I did follow up. I did hit my numbers this week. I did follow up on 2 days. Yeah, 2 full days. So that makes sense. Monday and Thursday, and then I just entered my stats today. I may not put that in there. I like to, enter my stats each day to stay on top of it, but it doesn't always happen. And then reviewing my goals, I reviewed them today. I didn't really review them through the week. My projector movement, I did that on Thursday. Did I do it Friday? No, I didn't do it Friday. So I got a lot done actually. It felt really good. And then so you guys know I'm on my human design journey. And so I'm a projector, human design projector. And so I purchased a course that's all on projectors. And it's January. I didn't look at it at all in January because I was so busy, but I was able to really get through a lot on Thursday. And I'm glad that I did. It's, yeah, it's just so exciting. So next course that I'm going to be looking into, or next module, is digestion, like diet. So I'm looking forward to that. See how that goes. And then gates and planets. So I've also been, I read this cover to cover in like 2.5 days. And then now I'm working on, so if you look at your human design chart, all these numbers here are gates. And then there's also planets. So like which of your gates are with which planets? Just to give you a little. So when you do your human design chart, you'll see you're going to have your design and your personality here. So this is like your unconscious and this is your conscious. And then which of your gates are with which planets. So anyways, without getting too into this book explains it very well. I highly recommend this book. It's very easy to understand. She explained it in layman's terms, Karen Curry Parker. And so yeah, she gives you these at the very back, contemplation type of thing. So it's like working with planets and gates. So you look at where yours are and what gates are in your planets, and it explains like what it all means. It's freaking fascinating. I'm just loving it. So I did do a good session on that twice this week. So that was good. And then my physio, only once this week. I can feel it in my hip. I need to get more consistent with that. Okay, so here's my week. So Monday, so if you remember last week, I believe in my plan with me, it was quite a lot of white space, like a lot of white space. I think most of it was white space actually. So this is how my week ended up. And I knew it would fill up. I hate when my pen smudges. I knew that it would fill up. Sorry, I didn't realize how far away the camera was from my page. So we ended up getting an offer on our Blue Springs listing, which was great. So that offer came in Monday night. So I was doing, some phone calls and whatever in between everything. And then on Tuesday, I went to the retirement home where my client is. He's 90 and got his signatures. And then Ryan and I went out for lunch or a late breakfast and then some work. And then we went to the office, had my coaching call, had a buyer appointment. So it was just, lots of things. And then a client of mine, he was looking at prefab homes, building new. He decided to back out of that. So I had a call with him and his sister who lives in prefab homes in BC. And so she was, she's his big sister. It's really cute. He's in his 50s, but his big sister is like taking care of him and it's really cute. But anyways, so I had a call with them about plan B, like where do we go next? Because we sold his house and it closes April 14th. So we have a small window to find him something. So it's like, nonstop really. And then, let's see here, had a mastermind, ladies mastermind. That was really awesome. Filmed my market minute, had a showing at my listing, one of my other listings, and then meet with Ryan, had another chat with a client. And then here's some properties I had to look up for my other client. So I just wrote those there. And then I spoke with the agents the next day of the properties he's interested in to gather all the info. So I jotted that there. I really enjoy having, having these note pages. And then, let's see, Thursday, it was great. I was so tired from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday was just like back to back to back. And you guys know, again, with my human design journey, I'm supposed to rest and take lots of breaks, and I did not do that. And I did yoga here, but it was like a hard yoga. It wasn't even like a meditative yoga. It was because I just felt so good. But that's the thing. I'm just vibing high off all the energy of my day, and I'm supposed to take those breaks to decompress and release that energy and come back to my own energy. So by the time I went to bed like between 11:30 and 12, which for me is early. I know for the rest of the world, they go to bed at like 10 or 11, but I'm a night hawk. So I actually went to bed early that day. I got up earlier. I got follow-up calls in. I got blood work done, got my cold calls in. It's my first cold call session of the year. It was just very productive. I felt really good. And I went to bed at midnight again. So that was good. And then lots more notes for those homes from the realtors, gathering all the information about the properties because we're going to book showings for next week to go see them. And then Friday was a day that I didn't really work. I did do some emails and listing research. That's where these phone calls came in. And then we went to our cottage. So I got an egg chair for my birthday for my dad, but it's too big for my house, too big for my living room. So it's perfect for the cottage. So we took it to the cottage and spent some time there. It was so lovely being by the water. Anyways, and then this was my Saturday. So we went to go film finally. For the last couple of weeks I've had as one of my big rocks to do our listing video we have some vacant lots we're selling. So we finally did that. We met the videographer and there and finally did all that. So that was fun. I did share some behind the scenes stuff on my Instagram stories yesterday. So some of you may have seen those. And then I did my nails last night, decided to do, this is my favorite, French manicure. I filed them all down because they were way too long. I was hurting myself, go to put my hair behind my ears and my finger goes up my nose kind of thing, ow! They're like weapons. So anyways, I filed them down and did a nice French manicure while I was watching Netflix. Very relaxing. It's one of my favorite things to do. And yes, these are my real nails. I get asked that all the time. They are not fake or gel or whatever. These are my nails. I was blessed. I have 4 sisters. So out of 5 of us, I'm the only one that was blessed with strong nails that grow. I don't know how that happened, but anyways, okay. So that was that. And this is today. So today is, because it's been such a busy day, like I've basically worked or been on the go every day. So today is a day that I'm at home. I'm not leaving my house and I'm filming my plan with me. And then I'm just doing all things. I am going to make cupcakes because it's Valentine's Day on Tuesday. I'm going to make some chocolate cupcakes. But other than that, I did my, like once a week I do a crock pot meal, and so I did that on I think Thursday, and then I have it in the crock pot for 24 hours. It's some chicken, so finished chicken soup. So I got that out of the way so that way Sunday I could relax. So that's what I'm doing now. All right, so let's look at my compass card here. So sharpen the saw. So meditation, I did meditation 3 times, and I did not review my routines. And I did catch up on my journaling. My CEO role, filmed it, Cranbook, we got that done. Follow up on our offer, did that, and we got it conditionally sold on the lawyer reviewing the status certificate. So that should firm up either tomorrow or Tuesday. I spoke with the buyer's agent yesterday and she said everything is looking good. Lawyer has reviewed the status certificate. So, yep, so that's good. And then that one, that's our Blue Springs listing, will be sold. Handwritten notes, I didn't get to that or film my January market recap video. And I have not FaceTime with my dad, just have not had the time. So that's what I did with my compass card. And then as far as my numbers here, so my goal is 31 contacts a week. I did 36 this week, so I'm ahead by 5. I did not generate any new leads though. So I'm -5 for that. I did book a listing appointment. I did hold an appointment, it's a buyer appointment. He hasn't signed with us yet. He is an investor looking to purchase an investment property. So we did take him to see one of our condo listings. He really liked it. So we've connected him with mortgage brokers and hopefully we'll get things going there. No new contract signed and no firm deals. I don't know why this is shaking so much. And then this is us as a team. Tyler is struggling to get himself back into a routine of getting on the phones. It's not something that comes natural to him or that he enjoys. So yeah, we're quite behind with our numbers there. But he did put in an offer on a property yesterday. The clients competed. So we're back to that again with, I'd say about 30% of our listings in our region are selling over asking. And this one here, it was a really nice detached house. So I'm not surprised it got as much activity as it did, but they competed. They did put an offer in, but they didn't get it. So we don't know yet how much they missed by because the sold price won't be posted until the deposit's received. So we'll see how close they were or how far off they were. No contract signed, and yeah, so all of those numbers were from my numbers there. But Tyler was very busy showing houses this week and getting reconnected with a client that left the market because it was too crazy, and so he reconnected with them they're motivated again. So he's getting that going. Very busy little guy, but he just needs to get on that. So we've been talking about that this week, and that's his goal. Yeah, so here's my breakdown there. What worked? Well, I mean, I hit my numbers, so I guess what worked was, in a sense, following my schedule as far as knowing, it was on my mind, even though I like to get so for the first 2 weeks of February, because we're just ending the first real week of February. But for 2 straight weeks, I did all of my lead gen Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which I loved. And then I had the rest of the week, but that didn't happen this past week because it was quite a crazy week. So I did calls on Friday. No, I didn't. Thursday. And then, so you leave a lot of messages and what have you, and then you do get calls. So then I had someone call me back on Saturday evening and then ended up booking a listing appointment. So that worked out for next Saturday. But anyhow, so what worked, I guess you could say, I made sure I did not skip my calls even though the week got busy. And I mean, it's tempting when the week gets busy and I'm tired to be like, oh, I'll just make up for it next week. But I don't want to fall into that pattern. I want to make sure that I am staying on track, because I do want to take a lot of time off this summer to be at the beach. And I don't want it hanging over my head that, I mean, I do plan on working from the beach, you know, for even just 2 hours in the morning and then enjoy the rest of the day. But I don't want to if I don't have to. So yeah, I made sure no matter what, I've got to get my calls done. What didn't work? I don't know. You know what I would say? What didn't work? Because here's what I did. So Monday, I was able to get just a couple calls in. I spoke with 4 people, but I didn't get any leads. Tuesday, I didn't do calls. I did do 1 contact, and that was from, I think someone who called me back. So I wasn't able to actually get in front of, to be at the phone. And because of my Blue Springs, we had to drive to the retirement home to get signatures, because he's, you know, very old and he doesn't do technology at all. So we couldn't do DocuSign or anything. So that normally I do my lead gen in this time, but that didn't happen. And then, yeah, it was just go, go, go. So then I didn't get it done either on Wednesday because I had my mastermind. So I think that's what didn't work, is I stayed up too late and therefore I slept in. And so that then when I got up, I had to just get ready and just leave the house, which is not ideal. So I would say that's what didn't work. So I did do a good follow-up session in the morning, but I didn't get any leads. So then I thought, you know what, I'm going to make up for it and make sure I at least get my contacts in. And I did a cold call session in the afternoon, but I don't like the neighborhood that I called. I didn't get any leads at all. And they were not very receptive. We'll just put it that way. Oops, sorry. They were not very receptive. So that's what didn't work, because I find I'm not in a groove. I haven't done cold calls in a long time. I've just mainly been focusing on my database. So, yeah, so that's what didn't work. Okay, just thought I'd get that done there. Okay, so yeah, that's what didn't work. I'd say like my sleeping patterns and not getting enough follow-up in, like knowing what I had going on, planning ahead and going, okay, I've got to get to bed earlier so that I can still get my follow-up calls in. I got my contact goal, but the purpose of doing contacts is to get the leads, to get the appointments, so on and so forth. Yeah, but I did get, so this person that called me back, technically you could say that was a lead, but I've already counted that lead because I connected with them, I think it was before Christmas, and then I followed up with them and then they called me back. So so it's not a new lead. So technically I didn't get leads, but I did get an appointment. So once I have more data, like this is only a month and a bit of the year. Once I have more data, I'll be able to really see, am I on track? Because then the contact goal doesn't matter as much as everything else, right? And I had my coaching call on Tuesday and we were reviewing my numbers and yeah, so I'm on track. We are on track for what our goals are, but it's too early to take the foot off the gas, so to speak. So my sharpen the saw, I'm doing quite well with that. And then use of my time, a lot less social media and more reading and personal development this past week. And that felt really good. And actually less stress, I guess you could say. So that's my recap, you guys. Hopefully that wasn't too all over the place and boring for you. I'm so focused on numbers due to my corporate background that and this is something I'm working on with my coach as well, because he knows how important self-care is to me. So I wrote in here for next week, I need to text him on how I'm doing with scheduling my self-care. He's like, are you scheduling your self-care in your calendar and then scheduling your work around it? And I was like, no, because I always schedule my appointments and my, like, the other things that I absolutely have to do. And then I'll fit my fitness around it, but really it should be the other way around. Because if I feel good, I'll be more efficient with my work, right? So that's a mind shift for me. So you're going to see me working on that moving forward. Yeah, because I mean, I think we can all agree, right, that when other things come up, the self-care is what gets erased off the schedule, right? And then we're like, oh, I'll get to that later. I'll get to that later. We really shouldn't be doing that unless absolutely necessary. Alrighty, so let's look at my quarterly goals, see how I'm doing so far. Hopefully it's a beautiful sunny day and I'm not using any artificial light. So I hope that this does not look too dark. I usually tell by looking at my hands. No, it doesn't look too dark. Okay, so how are we doing here? Write out personal expenses. Have not done my budget meeting yet. That's going to be migrated to my Compass card. We were supposed to have it done. We were supposed to do it on Thursday. I believe it was Thursday. I had that in here to do our budget meeting, and then all the things happened. And then no spend on non-essentials. We are doing so awesome with that. Wellness, review my routines daily. Have not been reviewing those daily. Hip and shoulder strengthening. I don't think I did any of that this week. I guess you could say by default with some of the yoga poses, because I did a really good yoga class this week and I felt really good. My shoulder didn't hurt too much after. I have not been doing the mindful app for my meditation. I've been doing the meditation at the end of my yoga. That's what I did this week. And then human design course and my book weekly. Well, I finished my book. And then my human design course, I did work on that. I also did work on my video course this week too. So doing great with that. All right, good, good, good. All right, so let's set my goals for next week. I'm gonna set here's my rolls and big rocks. On the bottom here, I decided to make one of the rolls me. And this is for my sharpen the saw. And so these are good triggers for me to remember in relation to taking care of myself. What are the main things that fill my cup and give me the energy and the stamina? And that's what that's there for. So I like referring to that, as well as, of course, my rolls and big rocks. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so sharpen the saw, read 3 times, strength-focused workouts, continue working on planets and gates in my human design, and then do a budget meeting with Ryan. We haven't done that yet for February. And then my CEO role, 15th protocol. What that is by the 15th of the month, it's so looking at as a team where we're at, and then if by the 15th of the month we are not on track in any areas, what are some contingencies that we will implement to get ourselves back on track by the end of the month. I need to do a CMA for someone and then do our January mileage. And then I just put a few things I need to do here just under family. I need to FaceTime my dad and FaceTime my sister. Yeah, so we'll just leave that at that. And I think next up I'll be, yeah, my month calendar. I believe that's all. CMA. Oh yeah, I just booked a listing appointment too. So let's get that in there. All right, that is updated. Okay, and then next up, so my master task list. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to speed this part up. I'm going to review my master task list, and set up my weekly task list for next week, and then I'm going to schedule my week. So I'm just going to take this week out. And I will be right back. Alrighty, I am done. So this is my weekly dashboard, my weekly tasks, my top follow-ups, work routines, personal routines, sharpen the saw, all set to go. And then here is my, oh, the only thing I didn't do is schedule me in there, but I did for here. So you'll see I did me. Hopefully you can see that. And then I just put some lines in there to say, okay, that half hour, no matter what, is for me to decompress. I may even extend it to do, because the way I look at it is I'll eat breakfast in the morning, do my follow-up calls, my 411 this day, and then my food will be digested and then I can get a workout in. That's the goal. Here, I won't be able to get a workout in. There's not enough time between my follow-up and my CMA appointment, my listing appointment there. So I probably won't be able to do any type of fitness until the evening. But the main thing is I'm decompressing before I go into that long appointment. And this appointment might go 1, 2, 3. No, it shouldn't go until 4:30. So I should get some more, like some decompressed time again before. I've met with this person before, quite a few years ago, so I'm going to give him an updated market evaluation on his triplex. And he's also looking at purchasing, like selling and purchasing out in the country an apartment building. So we're going to be talking about that. So it could take a couple of hours, but I should definitely be able to get some me time in before I go to my 4:30 appointment. And then I've got my follow-ups there, or tasks, whatever. Okay, my follow-up calls, 411, and then some me time before I tackle the rest of the day. That could turn into a workout, just depends on how I feel. And then yeah. So no matter what, I have that decompressed time for half an hour. And then my tasks there. And then here's Wednesday, same thing, starting my day. I like to get my follow-up done. I don't like having to do it later. So just get that done, have that decompressed time, and then have the mental focus and the energy to tackle the rest of the day. And then I don't have any other appointments until Saturday, so lots of white space. The plan is to get all of my calls done between Monday and Wednesday, and that way Thursday, Friday are wide open to do whatever. So I have in here to do some role playing with Tyler, work on scripts for him. So that will just kind of go, it's kind of a go with the flow day. And then Saturdays, I don't work weekends if I can help it, but of course I will go to a listing appointment. So that's the only thing there. One thing I will have to do here is just So double check the CMA for this appointment. We'll get it done earlier in the week, but just double check it. Make sure like the day before the appointment has anything else sold since we last prepared the CMA, so that we can bring the most updated information to the homeowner as possible. So other than that, that is my week. That is my week. So stay tuned to see how this turns out. Next week, I'm, big focus that I have is scheduling the me time and figuring that out. That is a mind shift for me. Like I said, it's not something I've ever really done. It's always been work stuff and then fitting my my wellness around it, which I mean, I've been doing pretty good considering, but this is a huge push for me this year is health first, and then all the work will get done, but I'll do it much better and much more efficiently because I'm taking care of myself. That is number one. Biggest goal this year is to prevent burnout. All right, guys, that is the end of my plan with me. That was the last step, scheduling my week. I hope that was enjoyable for you and you got a little something out of that for, to add into your planning routines. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions at all. And if you enjoy functional planning videos, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching and for being here with me week after week. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.